want some cake? Moses, not Adrian.
Okay, I'm John Lehman. I'm celebrating my 100th birthday, and you folks are here and we're wondering about my telling a story from my CPS days.
Yes.
And when I was drafted at that time, I was sent to a camp in Pennsylvania, along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and at one time, Margaret, with whom I was dating at that time from our home community, was going to be coming to Pittsburgh, and I was going to be coming from camp to Pittsburgh, and we were going to get together there. And she had made a reservation at a hotel, and I also then made a reservation there, and I was driving.
Not at the same.
Como?
Not at the same hotel.
Same hotel.
Were we married then?
No, but we could still stay at the same hotel and have different rooms.
Right.
Had different rooms. Anyway, I started out for Pittsburgh. This was in the winter months, and the road was very icy, and the car slipped and it slid against the guardrail to the left as we were headed toward, as I was headed toward Pittsburgh, and the pickup flew up over the guardrail, landed on the side, and slid down the into the river down below. And I was able to get out of the car, out of the pickup, and I noticed that a farmer was coming across the fields driving a team of horses, and he had heard the car hit this guardrail, and he saw what was happening, so he figured that he would need to pull the vehicle out of the river and save somebody's life. So I did get out of there, and the farmer got me on horseback and took me back to his place, and he called the camp and indicated about what the situation was, and they were able to get the pickup out of the river and up onto the highway. And so after some time I was able to get into that and drive on to Pittsburgh, and then did meet Mother there where we were going to stay. She had a room there and I had another room there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to spend the weekend there. And then I drove on back to the camp in Pennsylvania there and was there. And that camp finally was taken over by a German prisoner of war group.
Oh.
So all the men who were in that camp were sent out to other locations.
Mm-hmm.
And the director and the business manager and I were friends working together, and we stayed together at a new location that was opened up out in Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
And after a time, the camp director was discharged, and I was asked to be camp director in his place. And I had occasion on a couple of times to visit Heston, Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
to the college there. And so when they became aware that I was going to be discharged, they sent a staff person up to the camp to tell me that they would want me to come to Heston and be on the faculty there and teach in one of their programs. And Mother was back in Ohio, and she was teaching school, and she preferred staying back that way. And I agreed that that probably was the thing that we should do. So I went on back to Ohio and taught school a year or so, and then we were asked to go to Ethiopia
Mm-hmm.
and take a service assignment there. And we did agree that that's what we would do. So Mother and I and our son, who was about 2 years old at that point, took a bus down to New York to the harbor area, and then we got on a boat and we went by boat to Egypt. And there we we spent about 2 weeks in getting from New York to Ethiopia to Egypt. And then we took train and bus down into Ethiopia, which took several days. And then we were assigned as director of the program in Ethiopia. And we were there for 2 years in that assignment. The emperor and his wife came to visit us, and they, at that time, they had a dog in the car, and our son Tom saw that, and he came to the car. So when the emperor got out, the dog got out also, and so our son Tom played around with the dog while the emperor and his wife were visiting in the hospital. And so when they went to leave, the chauffeur opened up the car door, and the dog jumped in, and our son Tom just in right after him, and then sat on the seat with the dog. And the emperor laughed. He had a good smile. But the driver did get our son out of the car, and they left. And went on their way. And after the assignment in Ethiopia, we returned to the States, and I was there at Goshen at the college for a couple of years, and then we were asked to take an assignment in Puerto Rico, and which we did, and we were there for, and director of the program, we were there for 4 years, and at that point, then I returned to the States. That our mission board wanted us to come and be director of voluntary service. When men were drafted, they could volunteer to go into this program, and they were assigned to the various projects that the government approved, and so that was what had happened, and I was directing that program, and that took me to Canada, United States, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. So I did a lot of traveling while you children were at home there, and at that point you were in school, and Mother was teaching, and each of you 4 children were in school, and did what was appropriate to be doing.
Obeyed.
And she did not indicate a lot of problems with you, and we felt very grateful that that was the case. And then after a number of years, I suppose 20 years altogether in Elkhart, we were again asked to take an assignment overseas, and we're down in the Caribbean. Then we finally did return again to Elkhart, and after a number of years of retirement there, we did get located in Goshen, and we were there then for a number of years, and have been in this area ever since. Yeah. And they were good years, and I've thought of it in different times that you children were very, very positive, and were not causing a lot of problems with
We're obedient.
your situation, and that was very much appreciated. And it's time that we get something said about that. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yes, since I was with you alone for quite a bit of the time, and we felt good that you managed well, that we didn't have a lot of trouble.
Good. Well, thank you, Dad. Thank you for
Yeah.
telling the story.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was good.
Hello? Yes. Okay. Well, just got back from a birthday party. Yeah, and I've recovered okay. Yeah. Right. We'll appreciate going with you if that's still possible.
Church.
Okay.
Yeah, and about the same time. Yeah. Very much. We appreciate your calling and clarifying that. And you too. We'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you. You too. Bye.